The College Basketball Experience pregame show for Wednesday night, March the 5th edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Head over to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future and throwing away a March Madness party. Head on over there to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. Welcome, everybody, into the College Basketball Experience pregame show for Wednesday night, March the 5th. Got a good one here. Quality games. Got some high major games. We got the Sun Belt tipping off. We got the Ohio Valley tipping off. We also got the NEC tipping off. And we got the Summit tipping off tonight. So conference tournaments starting all over the board. Sun Belt action going on right now. Georgia, Southern Miss. Tipped off down there in Pensacola, Florida. So we'll talk about it. We'll preview all 28 games on the dock here for tonight. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, aka the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Cheers, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Joining me to talk college hoops, you guys know him. Well, he's the DC Sports Messiah. You can find him either at a Caps game or Nats game. It's almost baseball season, hard to believe. He is a green motor weed growing Troy Chittick. What's up, brother?
I've got a new favorite chat name. Sniffy McGee here has got me laughing a little bit just right off the bat. We've got it's been a while since I've been on a pregame show. We had a couple of Caps games right in the middle of the week when I usually come on. Had another one last night. Finally won one, though, so maybe that'll correlate into some winning bets here.
Let's go, baby. And third man in the booth, you guys know him over there at the Rob Donaldson YouTube page, a.k.a. the Chinese restaurant. What up, Rob? How are you, man?
We're doing good, man. And I just got to say, from right now, this very moment, until the 16th of March, we have nonstop basketball, baby. Day games, tournament games, all day long until we go to bed. This is like Christmas, but for like however many days is up until the 16th.
10 days of nonstop hoops, baby. Yeah. Today was the final day of non-day games, so thank God. Tomorrow the Valley tips off, I believe, at 1:00. So jacked up for that. Also, there's another tournament I think tipping off mid-afternoon. The WCC, ironically, 5:30, like randomly. The WCC, and if I remember correctly, that was the Pepperdine Pacific ambush game last year, the standalone game where who was it? Was it Pepperdine that was up like 60-0 on Pacific?
Pacific, yeah, they scored like 10 points in the first half, and we're down 60-14 or whatever the hell it was.
I'll never forget that. That is that was the greatest fucking game ever. I'll never forget that game. But let's talk the doc here
tomorrow. Pacific plays tomorrow to open up the WCC tournament again.
Hopefully they're a little bit improved. Dave Smart's a good coach, so better than Lorenzo Romar. But yeah, let's talk slate here tonight because we got like I said, we got two games tipping off here at 6:30. So let's cover these two games. DePaul going to Providence, the Dunk. Maryland going to Michigan here. I think I actually laid it with the filthy Providence Friars. I think they're going to kill DePaul. They've done a good job of beating up on the shitty teams at the Dunk, but then they just lose anybody that's worth the shit. So I think Providence, last home game of the year, smash spot. And then I took the Terps at Michigan. I think everybody's banking on a bounce back here for Michigan, but I think Maryland, better roster, more athletic, better guards as well. So I'll take the Terps here to go into Ann Arbor and really kind of bury Michigan in this Big Ten race. Troy, where are you going?
Yeah, I think we should put like a TCE line in the Big East where there's a specific line on the teams above. It does not matter that they're playing at the dunk, but on the teams below, the dunk still affects them. I'm laying it with Providence here too. I don't even have Cap on here to try to talk me into RuPaul, which actually the last few times he's been very adamant against RuPaul. So seems like Capper has a pretty good eye for statistics to know that DePaul's pretty ass. So I don't think it's too gross to lay it with Providence here. I'm taking the points with the Crab 5-2, Mac. I think their big men are, they're enough to counter those 7-footers from Michigan. And then, like you said, better guard play outside of that. So their half court has looked a little scary the last couple of games, but they did kind of turn it on. I'm okay with rolling the Crab 5 getting points.
I like it. No, and then kind of what has killed DePaul is ever since Connor Enright went out with an injury, he's the transfer over from Drake. I felt like they just don't have any cohesiveness on offense. It's just like hero ball and isolation stuff, and they just kind of go down the court to throw up a last second jumper, and it's disgusting. So yeah, I kind of like laying it against DePaul in pretty much any scenario the rest of the way. And then I actually do like Michigan. I kind of think that Michigan and Maryland are two teams that win in very similar ways. But I think Michigan has the better bigs down low and just in terms of their culminated abilities down low. And yeah, I think Michigan is going to edge them out here. And I'm seeing a lot of people in Maryland, which kind of makes me want to bet Michigan here too.
Line did go down from 2.5 to 1.5. Providence steamed up to 8.5 is what I'm seeing. So a little bit of movement here. Georgia Southern was the big move earlier. That went from 3.5 to 5.5. All right, let's go over to the 7 o'clock slate. Actually, I'll do it by league again. Let's go Big 12 games here tonight. We just got 3 games on the dock. We got K-State going to Cincinnati. Cincinnati laying an 8.5, 9.5, shop around. OK State going to UCF, numbers at 6. Colorado at Texas Tech. I am going to lay it with Cincinnati. I think that's a bait to take K-State. They've been beyond underwhelming, inconsistent, especially when they hit the road. I think Cincinnati wins by double digits. I like Oklahoma State. I think they're live in that game. I like the way they've gotten better and better under Steve Lutz in year number 1. And I think UCF's headed in the wrong direction. And I guess I'll take the points with Colorado. They're getting 18.5. It's not a strong on
that went from 17.5 to 18.5. Kind of
no bet.
Pumping up. Yeah, I actually think laying the 8.5 with Cincinnati is the best bet in all of these games. I want to get on Oklahoma State, but them outside of playing at home, they have not been the greatest in any kind of consistency on what they're going to play like. I mean, you might think that they're getting up for this one. I'm just going to stay away from that game, and I think you have to take the points. I mean, 18.5 is a lot. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if this is a guaranteed bet for me either, but as of right now, I'll take the 18.5 with Colorado.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys in terms of that Colorado Texas Tech game. I'm not going to bet it, but that kind of feels like it's going to dance around the number for the entire, back end of the second half is kind of what my vibe is. Oklahoma State, UCF, I love both coaches in this game. I want to buy into Steve Lutz just kind of finishing off year 1 on a high note, and at least keeping his team competitive as he builds into year 2. And when you're getting more than 2 possessions, I feel like that's a no-brainer if your mindset is kind of in that space. In the Kansas State, Cincinnati, I have no feel, but I did see somebody mention in that Coleman Hawkins was warming up. We'll see. I don't want to. Right. I have no clue because he could just be a detriment, especially coming off of an injury. I don't want to back Kansas State. I also don't want to fade them outright. So that's just a complete stay away for me.
Okay. I think we're agreeing there a lot. SEC, I should have started with these. These games are actually bangers here tonight. We got Florida at Bama. We got Missouri at Oklahoma. We got Tennessee at Ole Miss here. I like all three home teams actually in the SEC tonight. I think Alabama is going to bounce back. They always seem to bounce back at home. Final home game of the year at Coleman Coliseum before they hit the road at Auburn in the jungle on Saturday. I think Oklahoma is going to beat Missouri, to be honest. I'll take the 4.5, 5.5. These SEC road or bubble teams always keep popping up and finding ways to win these games. There might be a little corruption in there. So, yeah. And then give me Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss to knock off Tennessee. Ole Miss, senior night here. Tennessee coming off the buzzer beater win. I'll fade that angle. And, yeah, give me all three home teams in the SEC tonight.
I think if I had to, I would take Alabama, like if I was forced to bet this game. But instead, what I'm going to do is bet the over and just hope that these teams like padding their stats at the end of the year. Maybe they can both look a little impressive here for seeding purposes. Do you think if Tennessee loses this game, they're going to lose their 1 seed?
Potentially. So what? What do we?
That's the only thing that scares me off of not taking Tennessee to drop this or
Auburn is a hardcore lock. They're a lock number 1 overall with the resume. Like even Duke, like people can blow Duke all they want. Auburn's got like 15 quad 1 wins. They're a lock unless I guess maybe they lost to Alabama, then lost the first game in the SEC. Even though I still think they would be 1 overall. Duke's going to be a 1 because they're not going to lose any of these shit ACC teams. I think Houston's got to be a lock if they go 18-2 or 19-1 in the Big 12. And then I think it comes down to Tennessee and Florida. So, yeah, I think they probably would miss out. Alabama's pretty much a 2 seed now.
So I think out of all of these teams, I think you're right on the dog here with Porter Moser. Definitely take the 5.5 at home with Oklahoma. They don't make any sense. They're a really dumb basketball team, but I'm also with you on sprinkling that money line with the Sooners. Kind of desperate. They could still, throw their name in the hat here. And I'm going to go ahead and lay it with Tennessee. I think this would be a Rick Barnes let up spot, but he's made so many mistakes that I don't want to say he's learned from them all, but he is learning. And I think this is one that maybe they cover here to stay in that 1 seed conversation.
Yeah, I can definitely dig it. And looking at the Missouri-Oklahoma game in particular, I feel like Missouri is one of those high variance play style type of teams that hasn't really experienced the big lull game yet. They've been competitive on the road in a lot of different spots. And I do think that Porter Moser, when he's on the bubble, he can gear up some things, especially on the defensive end, to kind of disrupt the guards that Missouri's got, and they launch a lot of threes. I feel like that could fall flat at some point here, and we're running out of games for that to fall flat.
Yeah.
So I do like taking the 5.5 there. I do think that Ole Miss is going to pull off a big marquee win tonight against Tennessee, kind of like how I thought Texas A&M was last night. It just kind of feels like a very similar spot. And then I'm actually on Florida against Alabama. I think Florida is the better team. I think they are a top 3 team in the country. If they played on a neutral against Duke tomorrow, I would take Florida. Is kind of where I think how I think about that team. And yeah, I'm willing to buy in down the stretch. Give me more than a possession. I don't care if it's in Tuscaloosa. I definitely like the Gators tonight.
All right, let's pay the bills here because we are brought to you by Merch Madness. Get on over there to the merch store. You can buy a camo hat just like this. Get 20% off in the SGPN store now before the promo code is done. And yeah, we're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Partnered up with the Edge Boost Premier Visa Debit Betting Card. Get on over there and you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards. And your money is safe. The best part is no credit checks. Also, and head on over there and use our promo code SGPN at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie. MyBookie has been with us from the very beginning. They've got a new platform, new app, and it's easily depositable and lightning fast payouts with crypto. If you want to get down on that Florida-Alabama game or one of those SEC games, get on over there to MyBookie. Use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. Also sponsored by Rhythm, and they got a party 2 weeks from tonight, March the 19th at Stadium Circa in Las Vegas. Free drinks. You can hang out with SGPN, the college experience. We'll all be out there. Come by and use a Rhythm to help you build your bracket and model. And I mean, come on. I mean, what's better than having a couple free drinks, build your model, and hang out with the guys? So free party plus a chance to win $250 future bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpockets.com/party. That is sportsgamblingpockets.com/party. And that gets us into the Underdog Fantasy segment of the pregame show. The promo code is TCESGPN. We appreciate you guys using that code when you do get down on some action, so continue to do so. Troy, lead us off for our Underdog play tonight.
Both of mine are actually in this Florida-Alabama game. Just hoping for some scoring here. Rolling with Walter Clayton Jr. higher on his projected 18.5 points. I don't see too much defense between these two teams, and it's a late season fighting for seeding, but there's not a lot of super important stuff going on here between these two teams. They're definitely NCAA tournament locks. They're going to have high seeds, so hopefully that means high points.
Rob?
I like it. Mac, do you dabble with the Underdog picks?
I usually just ride with Cap.
That's fair.
He's not a bad idea.
Really good at this.
Yeah, I usually I'll tail Cap. Cap's been killing it, and I'm a sides guy. So when in doubt, I'll just I'll ride with Cap's entry of the night.
I dig it. No, yeah, Cap is electric with these. And for mine, I'm going to take you out to that Mississippi Tennessee game. I feel like that's one of those games where you need to have just a physical guard that can, match up well with Tennessee, what they have, in that position group. I do think Ole Miss is going to come to play, and that just leads me straight to Sean Padula. I like him on his points and assists total to go higher than 17.5. I feel like he's got a good spot tonight.
Let's go. Back to you, Troy. Leg 3.
All right, leg number 3. Still, again, Florida-Alabama game. Hoping for points here, and I can't stay away from betting some of the projections on this guy. LeBaron Philon, higher than 10.5 points. We all love the LeBaron. We know it's Beanick's favorite vehicle in the world. He'll ride in it for the rest of his life, and hopefully tonight we're taking it for a ride higher than 10.5 points.
There you go. Rob, take us home.
I'm going to take you out to an obscure game here between Fordham and George Washington.
Yes.
And we're going to be taking a look at the more kind of twitchy, wiry guard here. He's 5'11". His name is Jackie Johnson for Fordham. I think if there's going to be a chance for Fordham in this game, they've kind of got to be able to match those runs from George Washington. And I think his PRA right now set at 23.5 is going to go way higher. I think he could put that up just by scoring his points. So give me the higher on his PRA set at 23.5.
The promo code, reminder, TCESGPN, baby. Get down over there. Special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That is Underdog Fantasy. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, so we'll talk a couple games here in a minute. So breaking news. Jai Lucas will be the next head coach at Miami. That's been rumored. The associate head coach at Duke. Yep. He will finish the year with Shire or the regular season, but after the game on Saturday, he's done. He's not coaching. He's not finishing the job in the postseason because they got to get started on the portal down there in Miami.
Oh my God!
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. So that is something to monitor with Duke. I mean, that is a distraction. That is a moving part. I mean, your associate
why
head
not
coach,
just leave now?
I don't know why they have to fit. I don't know why
at that point, right?
Yeah.
What's the relevance to finish the regular season?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they'll be the regular season title champs, but it's an interesting dynamic. I mean, he's leaving early to go work on the portal down there at Miami. So, so Duke will be down one coach the remainder of the year. Some people may think that doesn't matter. I disagree, especially when you're going to ramp up your level of competition here. So this
also breaking news. Hopefully, top 20 Louisiana law is certified to represent himself in court, which luckily everyone in America can do that. But I will be taking you up on this bet. If they do not cover, I hope to see an ass tattoo. No horny jail, no bonk, just the tattoo. Don't need to see the whole ass or anything, but nice little cheek tattoo of a Mason logo. Be pretty funny.
Hilarious.
Mac, I knew you were going to use that Jai Lucas news as ammunition to go against Duke. I just knew it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Duke's going to be prime fade come tournament. I mean, they're going to be laying 100%. Outrageous numbers and playing real teams, unlike fucking Wake Forest and Miami and Florida State. But yeah, that is an interesting. I don't remember.
Put a future on Duke and then fade them every round. They'll be the first team to never cover on the way to a national championship.
They ain't winning the fucking national championship.
You can always cash out. You can always lucrative cash out option.
Yeah, Shire's gonna fucking choke. They're gonna lose to the Sweet 16 to some SEC or Big 12 team. All right, let's talk. What other leagues we got here tonight? I want to get to the tourneys last. Let's go A10. The A10 is fucking so all over the place. GW at Fordham, Rhode Island at St. Joe's, UMass at Bonnie's, LaSalle at Mason, Davidson at Loyola Chicago. My favorite 2-1 are probably UMass getting the big number at the Bonnies. The Bonnies won the first meeting. Usually this is a split kind of series with Frank and Mark Schmidt, and then I'll lay it with Loyola Chicago in Sister Jeanville, baby. Davidson fade on the road.
Yeah, I actually like laying it with G-Dub just as a Fordham fade. Fordham stinks, and what is it, 3.5 right now? That's not something that gets me away from it. I can't bet Mason here in Virginia, so this is just a pick, but I laid the 12.5 with them as a fan. Again, can't put anything on it, so take that however you want. And St. Joe's, I think you take the points with Rhode Island.
Okay. Rob, anything in this?
Hey. Yeah, I've got 2 bets in this league here tonight. I'm taking St. Joe's. I'm laying the number. I feel like from a raw talent standpoint, I think St. Joe's has the most of it, honestly, in the A10. And that's not to discredit, obviously, Dayton or VCU. But, if anybody else other than Billy Lang, let's just say Nate Oates was coaching this team, I think this is like a Drake level, like a 30-game winner. They have some legit guards, some legit NBA guys. And, yeah, they're not there from a win-loss standpoint, but love them at home, leveling the number against an overrated Rhode Island team. And when you're looking at that George Washington Fordham game, senior night for Fordham, they're also a team that just is so darn scrappy and just kind of annoying for teams that I think a high variance team like George Washington could really run into some trouble. I like Fordham outright tonight, but they're getting 3.5. I say we go ahead and take it.
Let's go. All right.
Double battle. Play the relaxing music.
Where's
this
that?
Will help. This will help calm your mind, knowing that you are in a battle. You must become one before you can win your battle. Now, take a 4-second chug of your drink, and then exhale the beautiful taste of single barrel malt whiskey.
All right, let's go. Speaking of meditation, Dan Hurley likes to meditate. He's got Marquette tonight. They beat Marquette's ass over the last couple games, 4 in a row. Xavier Butler could beat that modest final home game. Give me both dogs. Give me Marquette to beat UConn, return the favor here. UConn made all those threes at Marquette. I don't think they duplicate that. And then I'll take Butler to pick off Xavier and mucky up that resume. So Thad Matta beats his former assistant Sean Miller. Give me Butler and Marquette. Troy, how about you?
I kind of like Xavier here. This seems like when you are showing yourselves as a darling a little too early. Like, I think people will be all over Xavier come NCAA tournament time, talking about how they finished real strong here in this conference tournament. So I don't know. I feel like it's not quite time to jump off of them. So I'm going to lay it with them, but I do like Marquette as an outright dog here. Definitely take the points with Shaka. Getting points with Shaka, you got to take them.
Okay. Rob?
That Xavier Butler game, so that line did balloon up a little bit. I didn't bet it either side when it opened, but that was at like a pick 'em or like a 1.5 earlier
I think I
last
saw 1.5.
night. Yeah, and it predictably has gone a little bit. This is where I thought it was going to open, because I think that Xavier right now, not to kind of use the cliche, they're desperate, but this is definitely a desperate spot for a team that has aspirations to make an NCAA tournament. And, there are a couple Big East tournament wins away from probably solidifying that. I don't think that a Butler loss would look good on that resume. And I also think that just Butler, I'm never betting on Patrick McCaffrey. That's also one thing too. But yeah, so just kind of throwing that out there, probably laying it with Xavier if I had to pick a side there. Providence, I liked laying it there as well. And I also like laying it with UConn. Just the two home teams and then Xavier, all the favorites.
All right, so we did every power league. Now let's go over to the conference tourneys here. We got the Ohio Valley tipping off here in 27 minutes. Martin, Tennessee Tech, Moorhead, Lindenwood, the late game. I'm on Martin, and I'm on Lindenwood, the penitentiary. Martin lost both regular season games in overtime. Both games were in overtime. Should have won both games. Now they're laying a point. I like him in this spot. I like Lindenwood over Moorhead. Moorhead's a brand name. They have completely shit themselves down the stretch. So, yeah, give me Lindenwood and give me UT Martin here. Let's go.
I like Martin because they lost both of the games in the regular season and they were super competitive here. And then you see them laying points. I think this one's telling. I'm rolling with Martin with you, but it feels like it might be too late in the evening. Like, it might already be past lights out in the penitentiary. They've already done their evening exercises and everything. And a guy like me just can't turn down Moorhead. So I'll lay the bucket with Moorhead.
That's a fair point. I'm perfectly aligned with Mac, where I think Moorhead State is kind of an empty brand this season, and there is a popular future in this market. 100% is Moorhead sitting at like the 50-1 or whatever they were. I think they get stomped out immediately against Lindenwood and lose that game. And then I'm on UT Martin with an actual bet. I think UT Martin is going to win that game. I think the line is telling, given the seed line. I also think the line is just telling that, Tennessee Tech has been playing all right in conference play, and now they're a dog in this spot. Yeah, give me UT Martin with the bet.
A pair of opener games here, 8-9 games, playing games, I guess. Upstate Gardner-Webb down there in the Big South. And then in the Summit, we got UMKC and Bob Roberts. Love UMKC. I think I picked them to go to the finals against South Dakota State. I think that they're way better than their record. I don't know how they finished 8th or 9th with that talented veteran roster. I think they profile as a team, breath of fresh air, new season here, and they get off to a good start. And then I took Upstate. I've loved Upstate all year under Marty Richer, coming over from Drake with Darren DeVries last year. So give me an Upstate, get it better and better to finish off year one strong and get a tournament win here tonight as a 5.5, 6-point dog.
Yeah, in that Upstate G Webb game, I'm kind of scared that it's 5.5 rolling with Gardner-Webb. So I was gonna bet taking the points with Upstate, but I'm also gonna go over the 157.5. Both of these teams have kind of scored pretty well. I think see that big number. I think we're gonna go over it there, and then I want to take UMKC. I know they're way better than Oral Roberts, but what about like Oral Roberts getting points in Moorhead? You can do a Moorhead Oral parlay, which hope I don't end up on a list for that.
Let's talk NEC. There you go. We'll get you uncanceled there. DC, 4 matchups here. We got the 1 seed Central Connecticut, like 13.5. I can't lay 13.5 in a tournament game.
Sharks in chat.
Chicago State is going to beat LIU tonight. Watch. LIU, overachieving team. Chicago State actually fucked with LIU this year. They beat them once. The other time they had a halftime lead, and they just ran out of gas there in the Steinberg. New season, LIU goes back to being a pumpkin fraud. Give me Chicago State in the upset. Wagner is going to beat St. Francis. I actually like Wagner to get to the finals. And I guess I'll take Stonehill over Fair Dick. That's my least favorite game on this board. What about you guys?
Fair Dick could be in the parlay. Back to being canceled. All right. Before we make a bet on the Chicago State Long Island game, I just have to say, look at what we've done in 1 year. Look at what we've accomplished here. Look around you. All of us, we did this. 16 wins, and they're laying 13.5 in a conference tournament game. We did this. We did this. Take Chicago State.
I mean, my God. I mean, when has LIU ever laid 12.5, 13? No way.
This is, I mean, it's hilarious. We did this.
They have a winning season on a platter right here.
Which means
but that doesn't mean well, they'll win the game by like 3 or 4 points.
It's probably accurate. Yeah, listen, I love Long Island. Pass the gabagoo. And I think that they actually are a pretty half decent team as well. And Chicago State, I saw that kid miss a dunk, and I just knew that the season was over right then and there. I don't even think they're worried about playing this game. I think Long Island wins. This kind of feels like last night when we were watching the Detroit Mercy Northern Kentucky game, when Northern Kentucky could just name the number. I feel like Long Island can name the number, even with how just kind of average that they actually are. So give me Long Island laying the points. I'm willing to do it. And then also I like Wagner getting the 2.5 against St. Francis, PA. I think that Wagner, I think you brought it up, Mac, but this is a team with a lot of pride in the conference tournament. Last year they won it out of the 6th spot. And I do think they show up with points and potentially win this thing outright.
Also,
yeah, Wagner and UMKC are like the same team. Like they had a lot of expectations, shitty regular season, but new season, I'll bank on the experience. Troy, what were you saying?
I was going to say in that Wagner St. Francis game, St. Francis laying points in a matchup where Wagner's won the last 5 and 9 of the last 10 straight up. So I don't know if that means very telling or if this is just analytics don't really like them, but the eye test says they have their fucking number and they beat them all the time. So
that's fair.
Dude, that's all the games. Like I said, we were going to fly through the slate. Let's give out our money line dog parlay over at my.
Did we do the ACC?
There's no ACC games tonight.
Pussy Pack Eat Shit Pit.
Oh shit, I forgot about it. Is that the only game in the ACC?
I know we've got an Eat Shit. We've got an Eat Shit Pit bet.
We also didn't do the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And, we only did the Maryland game.
A lot of games in the ACC.
All right, so Big Ten. What else is there? Wisconsin. Oh god, there's a reason I skipped over
them.
Oh, let's. Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, these 4 games. Oh, and Stanford, Notre Dame. I forgot about that. All right, I'll run through ACC. I love Notre Dame, and I'm going to be on NC State out of principle because Pitt is a joke. And the other one, I guess I'll take Cal. I don't really. I mean, I can see Louisville blowing them out. Cal's a team that will cover and then just like completely fold down the last 10 minutes. But yeah, love Notre Dame. One of my favorites of the day against Stanford hitting the Midwest. And then, yeah, you got to take NC State. They're eliminated from the postseason. This is a random meaningless game that they're going to win against a Pitt team that is just completely quit.
There's a chance that Keats has like a bonus to win 12, 14, 16, 18, gets himself an extra like 50 grand or some dumb shit. I'm definitely rolling with the Pussy Pack. Again,
hilarious.
We just eat shit Pitt. We fade Pitt all the time.
You have to.
I'm going to lay it with Louisville though. I think that they're fighting for trying to move up a little bit in NCAA tournament seeding. And I think that an impressive game here is kind of mandatory against the Calgorithm. I actually don't mind playing Clemson and Louisville both laying the 14.5 together in a little two-step. Because the rest of the ACC is horrible. And
I took Boston College. Yeah, I forgot about that one too. Yeah.
I like Notre Dame too in the night game.
Yeah, I love Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, we are all over Notre Dame together. I think they win that thing out. They have 2 home games that close out the regular season, and I do think that Ash Wednesday, Micah Shrewsbury's rant, I feel like finally comes to fruition, and they get a win over Stanford. I think the line is telling too when you have a 19-10 Stanford team in a pick'em spot against an abysmal Notre Dame team. Louisville Cal, I lean towards laying it with Louisville, but I also know that the analytics are all over Pat Kelsey, and they always are because they don't take those crappy jumpers, those mid-range jumpers. It's all like shot quality, I think, has this team as like one of the best teams in the entire history of college basketball at this point. And
they like
it's getting a little. They do. Oh, do they actually?
I mean, you got to think that with those students and any kind of grad assistants and whatnot, it's the whole adaptation of don't even take the mid-range jump shots. So just because they play that style, the algorithm seems to impress the real algorithms that are, again, nerds, not basketball players.
I thought you were talking about like a California pun there because they're playing Cal tonight. But no, yeah, I think Louisville is, I don't know. We'll figure out who they are. I think they could be an early upset out of the tournament. I like taking NC State, and then I also like laying it with Clemson. I think Boston College is just kind of one of those teams that's mailing it in, and I don't know how they're retaining Grant after this run that he's been on for years.
Crazy. 2 Big Ten games, boring as hell. This one at least has a little bit of tradition. Wisconsin, Minnesota at the barn. I ain't gonna get cute. I'll lay it with Wisconsin. Minnesota's been a fade at home for whatever reason this year, and then I'll take USC to roll.
Yeah, it's actually 1 Big Ten game and 1 Pac-10 game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay it with Wisconsin as well, and the 6.5 is kind of scary in this USC Washington game. I'll pick them, but I don't have a bet in on that. It is 10:30 though, so there could be a tweet coming out at about 10 o'clock that it is now being bet.
Yeah, and what I'll tell you too is if USC wins this game, they are officially in the Big Ten tournament. There's no more drama. If they lose this game, it's still open that they could miss. So big time game for them to show up. Yeah, and I do think that Muss obviously is dialed into that. He's just the type of coach to use anything as motivation. I like laying the number there at 6.5, even though it's not a number I typically like to lay. And then Minnesota, Wisconsin, it just feels like a really low line because Wisconsin's been playing so well. I still think that they probably cover this game and beat the brakes off them at the barn.
Yeah. The barn has not been good outside of the Michigan game this year for Beanick.
Yeah, no.
Hilarious. All right, let's go over now to the parlay of the day. Favorite dog?
Well, you got to do Notre Dame and Loyola Chicago together for Ash Wednesday.
Okay. So we'll
do
that as
Fair Dick, Oral, and Moorhead for blowjob.
So these are
parlay.
your set. Yeah, these are the separate miscellaneous parlays.
These are not statistically backed parlays.
Themed parlays.
My Rhythm AI system has different weighted importance. Let's just say that.
The sexual parlay. Parlor parlay.
Imagine the twist Gluck 9000 occurring to you when you hit the 3-way head parlay. Oh, it's amazing.
Moorhead, Bob Roberts, and Fair Dick.
Jesus is with us.
8-1. 8-1. What about, all right, so your favorite dog on the board is Troy?
I think my favorite dog is actually Marquette.
Okay. Marquette. I like that one too. I'll co-sign that. 8:30. Where's that game? 8:30. Yep. Plus 150. Rob.
Let's go out to Ole Miss. I think they get a big time win tonight. Kind of similar to Texas A&M last night, where I really like that money line. I think Ole Miss picks up a big time marquee win for their seed line.
And I'll go Wagner, 11-1. Marquette,
like
Ole Miss, Wagner. Get on over there, everybody. 11-1 money line parlay on the board. That's hitting 100%. That's hitting.
I think so. I'm gonna definitely ride that one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that does it. Short pregame show, like I said. Thursday preview and picks later tonight. Troy, are you on that show tonight?
I'm supposed to be.
Sweet.
We'll see if I'm still around or not.
If you're alive,
we'll probably get a 2 or 3 hour nap in between now and then.
It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I encourage all naps. So, all right, guys, that will do it for this edition of the College Basketball Experience. Rob, anything you got going on other than your conference previews?
Yeah, we got some more conference tournament future videos on deck, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, just very, very excited for the season that we're about to have in the March conference tournament season.
Amen. Go check him out on his YouTube page at Rob Donaldson. He's giving out Chinese restaurant videos daily over there. Go check out at Troy Tuning. He gives out daily plays over there. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. We'll see you guys in a couple hours. Enjoy the action. This is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.